Don't close your eyes. Daddy, please. 6-year-old Maya screamed as she ran across the living room with an inhaler in one hand and her worn teddy bear in the other. Her father, Daniel, was on his knees, fighting for every breath. His face was turning pale. The inhaler had slipped from the table and rolled under the couch just seconds earlier. Maya dropped to the floor, reached under the couch with shaking hands, grabbed it, and rushed back just before he collapsed. She pressed the inhaler into his mouth exactly the way he had taught her. One puff, then another. Daniel finally took a deep breath, but before he could thank his daughter, someone knocked hard on the front door. 3 police officers stood outside. "We're looking for Daniel Brooks." Maya held her father's hand tighter. She had no idea that saving his life was only the beginning. Within the next 24 hours, she would uncover a secret her father had hidden for 6 years. It would lead to a courtroom, a missing fortune, and one decision that could either save their family or destroy it forever. If Maya had been just 30 seconds later with that inhaler, none of what happened next would have been possible. Before we continue, tell us where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because this unbelievable story is just getting started. Daniel leaned against the sofa, breathing slowly as the medicine finally opened his lungs. Maya wrapped both arms around him, still holding her teddy bear. "I thought I was going to lose you," she whispered. Daniel kissed her forehead. "You saved my life." A loud knock shook the front door. 3 police officers stood outside. "Mr. Daniel Brooks?" Daniel's face changed. He looked nervous. "Yes, we need you to come with us for questioning." Maya's heart raced. She grabbed her father's hand. "Did my daddy do something bad?" One officer knelt beside her. "No, sweetheart. We just need to ask him a few questions." Daniel smiled at Maya. "Everything will be okay. Stay with Mrs. Carter next door." As Daniel was driven away, Maya watched the police car disappear around the corner. Something didn't feel right. That evening, Mrs. Carter received a phone call. Daniel had not been arrested. He had been taken in because someone had accused him of stealing nearly $2 million from a construction company 6 years earlier. Maya overheard every word. She remembered something her father always said: "The truth never stays hidden forever." The next morning, while cleaning the house, Maya noticed an old wooden box high inside the hallway closet. She dragged over a chair, climbed carefully, and pulled it down. Inside were old photographs, newspaper clippings, and a small flash drive taped beneath the lid. One newspaper headline read, "Honest employee disappears after exposing company fraud." The picture showed her father. Her eyes grew wide. She hurried next door. "Mrs. Carter, look." Mrs. Carter read every page. Her expression turned serious. "This changes everything." The flash drive was taken to Daniel's lawyer. When they opened it, everyone in the room became silent. The drive contained emails, payment records, security footage, and recorded conversations. It proved Daniel had uncovered millions of dollars stolen by the company's owners. Before he could report them, they blamed everything on him. Daniel disappeared to protect baby Maya after his wife died in a car accident only months later. For 6 years, he lived quietly, working small jobs and raising his daughter alone. Now the truth was finally coming out. The trial attracted national attention. Every news station wanted the story. People could not believe that a single father who struggled to pay bills had once exposed one of the biggest financial crimes in the state. The company executives denied everything. Their expensive lawyers laughed in court until the flash drive was played. The courtroom became silent. Jurors listened as the executives discussed moving money into secret accounts and framing Daniel if anyone discovered the scheme. One executive's voice was unmistakable. "If Daniel refuses to stay quiet, we'll make sure everyone thinks he stole the money." The judge looked directly at the jury. The executives suddenly stopped smiling. After 2 weeks of testimony, the verdict arrived. All 3 executives were found guilty. Daniel was cleared of every accusation. The courtroom erupted with applause. Maya jumped into her father's arms. "I knew you were telling the truth." Daniel held back tears. "I only stayed strong because of you." Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded them. One reporter asked Maya, "Were you ever afraid your father was guilty?" She shook her head. "My daddy always helps people. Good people don't stop being good because someone tells a lie." Her answer spread across television and social media. Millions watched the interview. People from around the country began sending letters. Many shared stories of being falsely accused. Others thanked Daniel for refusing to give up. A few weeks later, another surprise arrived. The court ordered the company to pay Daniel compensation for the years he lost. It was enough money to completely change their lives. Friends encouraged him to buy a mansion and expensive cars. Instead, Daniel had another idea. He remembered every frightening asthma attack. He remembered families who could not afford medicine. He remembered Maya running with the inhaler that had saved his life. He used part of the money to open the Maya Hope Breathing Center, a free clinic that helped children and adults receive asthma treatment regardless of their income. Doctors volunteered. Pharmacists donated inhalers. Local businesses offered support. The small clinic soon became one of the most respected charities in the city. One afternoon, a little boy rushed into the clinic struggling to breathe. His frightened mother cried because she could not afford his medicine. Daniel smiled gently. "You don't owe us anything." The nurses treated the boy immediately. Minutes later, he was smiling again. His mother hugged Daniel through tears. "You saved my son." Daniel looked toward Maya, now sitting behind the reception desk after school doing her homework. "No," he said softly. "Years ago, my daughter saved me." Maya smiled. She still carried the same old teddy bear, although it had become worn and faded with time. To everyone else, it looked like an ordinary toy. To her, it reminded her that courage doesn't depend on age. Months later, the mayor invited Daniel and Maya to receive a Community Hero Award. The auditorium filled with families, doctors, firefighters, teachers, and children. When Maya stepped onto the stage, the audience stood and applauded. She looked out at the crowd and remembered the terrifying day. She thought she might lose her father forever. She took a deep breath. "I was scared," she admitted. "But my daddy always told me that when someone needs help, you don't wait for someone else. You do what you can." The room fell silent. You don't have to be big to be brave. Many people wiped tears from their eyes. Many people wiped tears from their eyes. Daniel proudly watched his daughter, the little girl who once ran across a living room carrying an inhaler, and a teddy bear had inspired an entire community. That evening, as the sun set outside their home, father and daughter sat together on the front porch. Daniel smiled. "You gave me more than my life that day." Maya looked up. "I did?" "You reminded me that hope can come from the smallest hands." She squeezed his hand. "And you'll always be my daddy." Daniel laughed. "And you'll always be my hero." Sometimes heroes don't wear uniforms. Sometimes they don't have superpowers. Sometimes they're just a frightened 6-year-old girl holding a teddy bear in one hand, an inhaler in the other, and enough love to save the only family she has left. And that single act of courage changed not only one life, but thousands more.